Hi bestie, how's it going on? How are you getting on today? Today we're doing something super fun because if you've been following me for a while, you will know that I started the 200 envelope challenge back in January of this year. Now the goal was to finish it by the end of the year, but bestie, if you've been watching my shorts every day, like the one over here, you will know that I recently completed it. So today we're gonna unstuff the 200 envelope challenge. So we've got this over here and we've got this over here. So this is 99 envelopes. And the reason why there's 99 is because when I opened up the account I originally put it into, I had to put £10 into it. So £10 was stuffed digitally. Talking of digital stuff, about £15,000 of this is already in a special account where it's the right account for me. But today we're going to unstuff 99 envelopes, so it's probably best to just get straight into it and we can talk about how we did it and how we got it done. Bestie, let's get into it. So I've got one of these over here, and yeah, so I think probably the best thing to do is just literally start. I need like a tub. Hold on. So well prepared. Okay, so yeah, this this challenge took what? At the time of recording this, it is, I don't even know what month we're in August. So I finished it the last day of August, right? And so it must have taken 8 months to do this. And for me, that's a big feat. And I think for many people, it would be quite a significant feat to achieve it. Like £20,000 in a year, I thought was going to be like really tough, but I've been just really super lucky with what happened over on Etsy and what's happening within my small business. So because of that luck and because everything's just gone really well, I've been able to really funnel loads of money. But you know, I think, you know, I need to give myself like a little bit of grace and realize that, you know, not everybody would have done this the way I have. Like, I've sacrificed a lot to make this happen, and a lot of people may have just gone on and, you know, spent all the money and done all of that with it. But I've decided to save like as much as I possibly can. And yeah, I suppose that's been like the biggest like learning for me is, yeah, you can have great ideas about, you know, saving up 20k, but like when it comes down to it, it's not fun. You have to make sacrifices sometimes. You have to, you know, lose sometimes, and it's not always super fun, but at the end of it, you get to do that. So, you know, I don't really know what else to say about it other than it wasn't as easy as it looked. I know I documented every single step along the way. I know I did that, but it wasn't as easy as that looked because, you know, saving like a big amount of money each day was tough because it's like, oh, I could have so much fun with that money. I know that I nearly lost a 50. Like, I could have like gone out and done this with my friends, or got a tattoo, or, you know, do all the things that I really want to do with my life. But, you know, holding on and delaying that pleasure and doing that stuff with it is definitely worth it. I'm gonna have to make sure that I check through all of these envelopes. Let me just check these ones. Yeah, they're fine. So yeah, going back to it, what I was saying is, yeah, delaying the pleasure, because right now I'm gonna be, hopefully, when we count all this up, hopefully I'm gonna be £5 closer to achieving my home. So for me, I know that like people ask a lot, how close are you to actually getting your first home? And for me, it's a tough question because like I could probably get one right now if I really wanted to. But the sort of industry that I'm in, the job that I have is like really fickle. And by that I mean, I could lose everything straight away. Like, I could lose all of this overnight. If someone decided that they didn't like me anymore, or my viewership waned, or there was someone who did what I do better, which, you know, could happen tomorrow, I could lose everything overnight. And that's my whole income. So committing to something that I can only afford on what I'm doing right now is not necessarily a smart thing to do. So what I want to do is get myself as prepared to be able to cope with like a small mortgage. So if I, you know, let's say for instance, I wanted a house that cost £200,000. If I put down, I don't know, £30,000, then my mortgage would be a lot higher than if I put down £100,000. So while I'm in the, you know, perfect sort of opportunity at the moment, I'm earning nice money on YouTube thanks to all of you lot, and I'm earning really good money on Etsy. So because of that, I can save it up, because while I'm living with my brother, I've got the opportunity to not spend a lot of money on like bills and stuff like that, and I can save so much. So because of that, I'm in the perfect place to really knuckle down. So the goal is £100,000 now to get closer to my home, and you know, I think I can get there. Maybe 1 year, maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years. But I will get there, because I just want to have an easier life, because, you know, interest rates on mortgages are really, really high at the moment. And I don't want to really struggle the second I get into my home and not be able to buy stuff and have to really knuckle down again. I want to be able to have as small as possible, like, mortgage payment as I can, so that I can enjoy overpaying, if that makes sense. So that's the plan. You know, living with my brother is absolutely wonderful, but it's not the end goal. It's not as fun as ever. Like, you do, you know, as much as I love him and I love my family and stuff like that, you do sort of lose a little bit of independence. And being almost 40 and living with a family member gets more and more embarrassing as you get older. It really, really does. Not that there's any shame in it, but, you know, I'm a relatively independent person, and it's, you know, it's pretty tough. So yeah, I feel like I'm rambling right now. So I think we'll just speed through these envelopes here, and I'll join when we get to the next ones. Okay, so that is the first bit done, and it was all flat. It took a while, but now we're into the smaller amounts here, and these are folded, so these are going to give me trouble. People seem to have a real big aversion to folded over notes, but I honestly don't mind it. Yes, it's annoying when you come to unstuff it, but if you just shove it in between, it should be okay. So I'm just going to go through all of these. So yeah, I've just been like reflecting on what I was saying earlier on, and yeah, I'm just like super grateful, super thankful to everybody who supported me, whether it's like a small way, but just by watching these videos, because that truly means a lot, but also in the big way, by buying something off my Etsy store. That's like absolutely huge. That's such a big thing to do. So just thank you so much. If you know, you support me in any way, no matter how big or small, it truly means the world. So even if you're not like in a financial position to, you know, buy anything off my Etsy store right now, you know, don't feel bad, because like, you know, just by watching this video, it means the actual world to me. And I hope you understand that, how much you mean to me and how much your support means to me. But yeah, so this, going back to the 200 envelope challenge, this took me like, let me just adjust myself. This took me like 7 months. And I know that that is quite not normal for most people, but I'm in a very, very unique situation where this was possible for me, and I'm really laser focused on getting my home. For me, it's like the most important thing, and I will sacrifice almost everything in order to make that happen for myself. So that's why there will be a day when I sort of chill out and sort of relent a little bit with it. But for now, it's the reason why I do all of this. So it's the reason why I work so hard. It's the reason why, you know, I put so much away, because I really could, with the money that I'm, you know, earning, I really could have a really fun life. I really could go out and do stuff and hang out with my friends more, but I'm just trying to be really mindful, very mindful, very demure with my money. So I know it will pay off, because the gratification of getting that mortgage, signing that lease, doing everything that I need to do to have my own home by myself, saved up by myself in this day and age will be a big deal for me. So yeah, I'm excited about that. So this is the first 99 envelopes. So normally in a 100 envelope challenge, because that's essentially what we're unstuffing today, you would get 5,050, and I need to check that to make sure that's right. But you should get 5,050, but remember, we're not unstuffing the 10 envelopes. So really what I should have here is 5,040, and we'll only really know when we get to the end of this if I've done it right, because if it's not 5,040, I'm gonna have to go through every single envelope to make sure that I've taken out all the no's. I have been checking as I go along, but you know, I don't know what it's gonna be like. I really don't. So yeah, I think this is super fun. I've also got a plan for the coins as well. So that's not going to go directly into my bank, because that's annoying to put all of those into my bank at the moment. So we're not going to do that yet, but I've got a plan for them in today's video. And yeah, this is all going to go into, so I've got a, it's called a premium bonds account, and I put the bulk of my money in there. And I know that it's not like a great thing for a lot of people. So a premium bonds account is only good for people in certain circumstances, I believe. And this is not financial advice, and I wouldn't ever recommend you to do anything with your money. But for me, putting my money into a premium bonds account is the right thing for me, because I'm looking to get a house as soon as possible. So I'm not looking to actually have this money for a really long time. So any meaningful interest it's not gonna happen for me. However, by putting it into a premium bonds account, I could, it's unlikely, but I could win more money. So, you know, on the off chance, why not? So it's going to go in there, and then in 2 days time, so if you're watching this the day it came out, in 2 days time, I'm going to do my Q2 or my half year goal review. So how far have I got towards my goals? Because one of my goals was to finish this 200 envelope challenge, and obviously this is the fruits of my labor. So we'll be able to have a look and see how far I've got closer to my house. So now that you know the real goal, which it pretty much has been behind the scenes all along the way. I don't like to sort of share my giant goals with you, because they can be quite daunting, and also people could be quite negative. I've seen it happen to other YouTubers, and it's happened to me to like a smaller extent. If someone says, I want to save this much, I really want to make this happen, I want to do it, I believe in myself, so many people turn around and say, that's never going to happen. And it's like, I don't need that. I don't need that, anybody saying that's not going to happen, because if, you know, if I believed you, I might not do it. I need to remain like, you know, I really like the idea of blooming in the darkness and working really hard and not screaming and shouting about it, even though this whole channel pretty much is me screaming and shouting about all of that stuff. But do you know what I mean? I kind of like to keep some things towards myself. But anyway, going back to the point I was talking about is in 2 days time, we'll do my my half year, my Q2 results of how well I've done against my goals, and you'll be able to see how close I am to £100,000. And you know, in some cases, some of you might think that I might even do it this year, like total. So let's just see what happens. We've got Christmas to get through, we've got advent calendars to finish up. By the way, thank you so much for the support with the advent calendars. At the time of filming this, I don't know if this is true now, but at the time of filming this, we've still got a couple of Cosmos advent calendars left, and at the time of filming this, I haven't actually launched the redacted, so I don't know how well they're selling or anything like that. I still have some surprises for you before the end of the year, so look forward to that. But yeah, seems like everything's going really well. So I'm just going to do a very small fast forward just so that I can get up to the last envelope, and I'm going to save the one envelope for us to do together because it was the last envelope I did on the 31st. So it'll be the last envelope we unstuffed together. So I'm just going to zip through all of these really quickly, and I will join you back here in 1 sec. Besties, I'm so annoyed. I filmed this video for probably about an hour, and at this point this main camera just ran out of battery. So because it ran out of battery, it just stopped recording. So but I'm just gonna have to voice over everything, but I am furious because I probably said some really good points. But anyway, let's get on to the little voiceover part, which is going to be super fun, bestie. So what I was doing is I was just going through all the envelopes and just finishing them off. Like, yeah, look at the envelopes. Look at the envelopes, what we had. That was absolutely wild. But we got to a point where I had all the money and I wanted to count it all up, right? So essentially what this was a 100 envelope challenge, because the higher envelopes, the 15 grand, that was stuffed digitally ages ago. So essentially what we had is a 100 envelope challenge. But remember, when I set up the savings pot that I originally had for it, I stuffed £10 into it digitally. So it's a 100 envelope challenge minus the £10 note. So what that means is normally you'd have 5,050 in a 100 envelope challenge, but because we got the 10 missing, it's 5,040. So what I did is I went through and I counted everything up. I put it down on a bit of paper. I made sure I used like an envelope, like just to reuse it, and I counted everything up. So we went through the 5s and the 10s, the 20s. Like it would be so much better if like the recording didn't mess up or anything, but it did, and I can't do anything about it. But yeah, so there's me counting all the money up. I don't know what, you know, I can do to tell you more about that. But then we got to the coins. So the coins, bestie, that took a really long time. So we're speeding through that now. The coins, what I did is I separated them all into piles of 10 and counted them up at the end. So it took a really long time. I was like, what am I going to do with these £2 coins and these £1 coins? Because lugging them all to the bank is like such a nightmare. Like, do I really need to do that? But what I did is I put them in piles of 10. It's 5 £2 to a pile and 10 £1 to a pile of 10, obviously. And when I counted it all up, it was 200. So when I got to the end of adding everything up all together, it came up to 5,030. And I was like, uh-oh, what's going to happen here? And it turned out I miscounted by £10. So it was 5,040, exactly what I was expected. So that was really good. Now going back to the pound coins, wasn't really sure what I was going to do about that. So what I decided to do is to put that all into my penny challenge. It took a while to put it all in there. It was super fun. It felt like those like fruit machines. I've never played a fruit machine, but it felt like a fruit machine that I would never lose. I put it in there and I signed off a couple of the things on there. It got quite far. So if you look towards the end, yeah, it got quite far. It was quite good. Now, the reason why I decided to move the money into there was because like that leap year saving challenge, because I'm doing it once a week and I'm only putting like £2 to £3 in there, it feels like I'm never going to achieve it. And for me, a £200 injection into that means so much more because I feel like I can achieve it now. So there is absolutely no shame in moving money from one challenge into another. There's no shame in having a challenge that feeds into another challenge, like purposely. There's no shame in doing that. Like if the numbers in the big challenge are too big for you, working on a small challenge over and over again and funneling it into a bigger one, there's no shame in that, bestie. So fully agree with that. And yeah, I like that I've done that. Even though that £200 was meant for my house, Probably the £600 is going into my house as well. So, you know, I'm not necessarily sacrificing it, but even if I was, £200 out of 5 grand, not such a big deal, bestie. I hope this ending to the video was okay. I hope that, you know, I've explained it all okay. I know it's much better if you've got me commentating on it live, but, you know, stuff happens. It just is what it is. So thanks for bearing with me. We're back to the normal end of the video. I'm not wearing blue anymore. It's too hot. I'm done for the day. Thank you so much for getting through to the end of the video. You know I love it when you get through to the end of the video. Please give this video some love. Make sure you like, comment, share and subscribe. And if you are going to comment, please use this emoji. Are you currently doing the 200 envelope challenge? Now, if you are not, and you are one of the people who say, oh, I can never do that, I can never achieve that, I want to tell you that I am an extreme example of someone who relentlessly focuses on saving challenges to make their goals happen. That's not necessarily a good thing, right? Someone who's doing this challenge like a normal person is my sister-in-law, Kyla. She has done probably about 20 envelopes and she started 7 months ago, same as me. So some of these are really high envelopes. She's done the 1 envelope, do you know what I mean? So this took me 7 months, but it's probably going to take Kyla 7 years, and there is no shame in that. I would fully recommend to do the 200 envelope challenge. It feels like a badge of honor that I achieved it. I am not going to attempt a 300 envelope challenge, absolutely not, but I would definitely do this again. I would definitely do this again because the result of it is £20,000. So whether that gratification comes in 7 months or comes in 7 years, who is going to turn their nose up at £20,000? So if you're one of the people who didn't even start the 200 envelope challenge because it felt too daunting, too big, too scary, bestie, just do it. If you can only do the first 20 envelopes and filter it up, do it. Why not? What have you got to lose? Honestly, what have you got to lose, bestie? Have you considered becoming a channel member or a patron? Patrons get exclusive content, sneak peeks and significant discounts off my Etsy store. Channel members get early access to every single video. In fact, they've seen this video about 3 weeks before you have. This was filmed way in advance, this video. And by the way, the names that you're seeing, they will be changed for not next video, the video after. So Friday's video this week or whatever. If you like Sounds Nice Perks and you like the sound of me, have a look at the links in the description. You will not regret it, bestie. That is literally all we have for today. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for supporting me, however small, however big. Like, I'm truly humbled. Thank you for allowing me to complete the 200 envelope challenge. It truly means so much to me. But until the next unstuffing video, which will probably be the 10k video, and it's probably all going to be placeholders, so you know that's going to be fun. Until then, I would like you to have a wonderful day, have a wonderful week, and have a wonderful budget. Always remember, don't trust Ira. I need to go get the money again. I've literally done this twice. Okay, right, I need to not do such a shocked face. I nearly dropped it. With one hand. There'd be loads to choose from there. Oh, I'm so photogenic, bestie. See you soon.